Okay, good morning to all of you. Here we are discussing correlation and correlation coefficient. Okay, uh, that means if we have two random variables, suppose x and y, how they are linearly linked or coupled with each other or correlated with each other, that we are discussing. In our last class, introduction part or fundamental belongs to correlation we have been discussed this one, and we are also discussed scatter diagram this one, and I told to you that in which way you have to maintain your note. Okay, and the degree of correlation, as we discussed in our last class, the degree of correlation, here you can see that this is positively correlated and this one also positively correlated, but however the degree of positively correlation between this one this one has large, that means r equal to plus 1, that means highest as compared to this one. So degree of correlation is going to be evaluated with the help of a small r, that is your coefficient of correlation or correlation coefficient. These things we have been discussed in our last class, and these are the basic things we have been also discussed. Okay, in this class we are going to discuss limits for correlation coefficient. Here we can see that the correlation coefficient varies in between -1 to +1. Okay, so how it is -1 to +1, that we are going to discuss in this class, and also we are going to discuss uh, few theorems, okay, based upon correlation coefficient. So let's start. So here you have to put limits for, in your note you have to put heading limits for correlation coefficient, right? So as we discussed in our previous class, according to Carl Persson, who is British biometrician, he has given a relation that this r of two random variable x and y represents correlation coefficient, which will give the degree of correlation between x and y, which will be equal to covariance of x and y divided by standard deviation of x and standard deviation of y. These things we have been discussed. Okay, so here we are going to consider this expression, and we are going to be prove that r has to be vary from -1 to +1. That means r value will be in between -1 to +1. The minimum value will be -1, maximum will be +1. Here you have to concentrate that correlation coefficient r equal to covariance of xy by sigma x into sigma y. So covariance of xy we found here. You can see in our last class we discussed that covariance of xy is nothing but is your 1 by n summation over xi minus x mean into yi minus y mean. These things already we know. Okay, so this one divided by this root over of this one and root over of this one, because here it is sigma x and sigma y is there, sigma x into sigma y. So covariance whatever written over here, that we written there, and so here root over of this one and root over of this one. Okay, so sigma x into sigma y, here you can see that sigma x square equal to this much, so sigma x will be root over of this one, sigma y equal to root over of this one. So obviously sigma x into sigma y equal to 1 by n summation over xi minus x mean or mean of the x whole square into 1 by n summation over yi minus y mean square whole root over. Okay, now we are going to take square of both the side. So what we are going to find out, we can find r square equal to whole square of this one, and here whenever we are going to consider whole square, this root over is going to be removed. Okay, so we have to go for the next page. Here you can see that r square xy equal to whole square of the numerator. See here ai bi is considered as xi minus x mean, bi is considered as yi minus mean of y. So instead of xi minus x mean and yi minus y mean, here it has been written that ai bi. You can see that here xi minus x mean is there. So instead of xi minus x mean, we can write ai, and for this we have been considered that this will be bi, and here this one is written, and as we taken square both the sides, so this will be square and this will be square. Likewise at the denominator you can see that here you have xi minus x mean whole square, yi minus yi whole square summation over is there. So instead of this one we can write ai and bi, right? So same thing, it has been written ai square bi square, as we have been considered the square, the root over has been removed. Okay, see here I am explaining directly from the book, so I suggest to all of you that in which way I am explaining, in that way you have to maintain your note. What are the steps I am omitting, I'm going to tell to you that this step you do not write, so there you have to remove those steps. But what are the steps I am suggesting that you have to write down your note, you have to write down in your note perfectly, because many times I am telling to you that uh, note is very much useful at the time of exam, right? Now we have that the Schwarz inequality, which states that if ai bi where I equal to 1 2 up to n are real quantities, then summation over I equal to 1 to n ai bi whole square will be less than equal to I summation over I equal to 1 to n ai square into summation over I equal to 1 to n bi square. Here we are not going to prove this inequality. May you know, or may you studied in your mathematics somewhere this inequality, or some other uh, 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 class I'll be give the proof of this inequality. Okay, here we are going to use this inequality only. So according to this inequality, or you can say theorem, the whole square of summation over I equal to 1 to n ai bi whole square less than equal to this much. Okay, now you just substitute this value here at the numerator. No need to write this line here in your note, no need to write. So whenever you are going to be substitute this value in the numerator, you can find that the numerator will be this one and denominator already is same. Okay, so both will be cancelled with each other, but however the numerator is this one, okay, which is less than that of this one. So after cancelled with each other, the r square will be less than equal to 1. You got my point? Wait, here you can see that we have r square xy equal to this much, right? Equal to this much, but however the numerator value is less than equal to this much, so I can write this r square less than equal to summation over, instead of this one I can write this one, but here we have to put, instead of equal symbol we have to put that will be less than equal to. Okay, so as because this one is the less than equal to this much, so summation over I equal to 1 to n ai square into summation over I equal to 1 to n bi square, and denominator also we have the uh, same terms into summation over I equal to 1 to n bi square. So numerator and denominator got cancelled, and we found here r square x y less than equal to 1. Okay, so here this step you have to add after this one. After this step you have to add this step. Okay, then you have to write down this one. So here, if we are going to consider this inequality or theorem, we found r square is not equal to this much, but r square is less than that of equal less than that of less than equal to that of 1. Okay, so here we found r square xy less than equal to 1, or we can write r xy mod less than equal to 1, right? Or this is nothing but your r varies, that means this r mod less than equal to 1, that means r greater than minus 1 greater than equal to minus 1, and r less than equal to plus 1. Okay, so in general we can write r varies in between minus 1 to plus 1. So here we can write same thing. Okay, no problem. So I suggest that after this line you have to write down, we have the square inequality which states that this one in a real quantity, then this will be this. So hence then you have to write, hence this r square xy less than equal to this much, r square less than equal to this much, or r mod less than equal to 1. Therefore r varies in between minus 1 to 1, hence proved. Okay, so in this way you have to maintain your note. Okay, now we are going to go for the here you can write this line itself in your note, that hence correlation coefficient cannot exceed unity numerically. Okay, it is always lies numerically, it could not be exceed 1. It always lies in between minus 1 and plus 1. If plus 1 the correlation coefficient, if plus 1 the correlation is perfect and positive. If r equal to minus 1, correlation is perfect and negative. Okay, this line also you have to add in your note. So here we found that correlation coefficient will be in between minus 1 and plus 1. Okay, then we are going to go for a theorem which is important to solve the numericals. Here it is written as in the book it is theorem 10.1. You just write down in your note as theorem 1. What is it? Correlation coefficient, that is your small r is independent of change of origin and scale. Okay, so before we are going to discuss this theorem, you just recall about moments. Okay, you just recall moments. That means we already discussed in our previous class that rth moment about a point, suppose a small a, will be nothing but expectation of x minus a to the power r. This is nothing but your rth moment, right? So if we are going to consider rth moment but about origin, here about a point a, so we have to write expectation of x minus a to the power r. Now if we are going to consider rth moment about origin, that means this a will be considered as 0. So rth moment will be expectation of x minus 0 to the power r, or we can write expectation of x to the power r. Okay, so if we are going to consider first first moment about origin is nothing but is your mean itself, mu 1 dash. Here instead of r we are going to consider 1, so it will be expectation of x. That means this is nothing but x bar or mu, different representation we know, we already discussed. So why I discuss these things, that here in the theorem it has written that change of origin. So here you can see that this is the moment about the origin. Here change the origin from 0 to a. Okay, so likewise whenever a random variable x is transformed to another random variable u as like x minus a, that means here is the origin is your 0, and for this u the origin changed to another point, that is your a. Okay, that you have to consider. And you just remember, just recall, may you remember, just recall that change of scale. That means suppose x is your random variable. If I will multiply any constant, suppose I multiplied h, h is a constant, has been multiplied with x. So here I change the scale, a constant scale, by multiplying h. That means you can consider the scalar of this x has been changed or transformed. Okay, or we can consider fraction itself, 1 by h into x also we can consider to change the scale of the random variable, right? So if I have a random variable x, okay, if I am going to change its scale and origin from 0 to some other point, suppose a, then it will be modified as x minus a by h, or you can write x minus a into h like this. Okay, so this x is transformed to this one, suppose this one will be called as u. Okay, here you can see that both origin and scale has been changed. So here also in the theorem same thing, it has been written that the correlation coefficient is independent of change of origin and scale. That means the theorem is telling that if we have two random variables, suppose x and y, and x is transformed to u by after changing the origin and scale, and y has been changes to another random variable u by changing the origin and scale, then for this x and y the corresponding correlation coefficient is nothing but is your covariance of xy divided by sigma x, standard deviation of x, into standard deviation of y. Already we have been discussed, right? Already we have been discussed in our last class. You just remember, this is the basic formula you can say. Okay, so likewise if x and y has been transformed to u v by changing the origin and scale, then r will be u v, r of u v, that means correlation coefficient of u v will be covariance of u v by sigma u into sigma v. So here in this theorem we are going to prove that r xy will be equal to r u v, which is most important theorem which will be used in our problem. You can see whenever we are going to solve the problem, if we are going to change the scale and origin, then the problem will be solved very easily. Okay, so first we are going to be prove this theorem here. Okay, so you can see that let us consider u equal to x minus a by h, v equal to y minus b by k, but initially x and y are the two random variables. So if I am going to consider u will be this much, v will be this much, so x will be, you just multiply u into h is there, minus a will be moved this side, so x will be a plus h u, y equal to b plus k v, simple. And here a, b, h, k are constants, and h, k both are greater than 0, positive value. Here we have to prove, we shall prove that r xy equal to r uv. Just now I told these things we have to prove, okay. And one thing I am going to tell to you that sometimes this theorem also asking in your exam, okay. You have to keep in your mind this one also. So here x equal to this much, y equal to this much. Now we are going to take expectation of x, expectation of y. So expectation of x, if we are going to consider, here you can see we have to write expectation of x. Here x is your a plus hu, right? Expectation of a plus hu. So here a and hu both are constant. So this will be expectation of x will be equal to how much? This can be written as expectation of a plus expectation of hu, and we know that expectation of a constant is nothing but that constant, and this constant can be this is a constant, okay. H is a constant, can be taken outside, so h expectation of u, this can be written. That already we have been discussed in our offline classes, right? So here we found that expectation of xy will be a plus h expectation of u. Similarly, expectation of y will be equal to b plus k into expectation of v. Now we have to consider x minus expectation of x, because see, for the variance, to calculate the variance, this term we need, only for that we are doing this one. So x minus expectation of x, that means x is equal to this much, a plus h u minus this one, so minus this one means here you can see that expectation of x is this one. So we are going to consider x minus expectation of x. X is nothing but a plus hu. So a plus hu minus a minus h expectation of u, right? So minus a got cancel. If I will take h as common, then u minus expectation of u, right? Same thing, it has been written. Now similarly, y minus expectation of y will be k into v minus expectation of v, right? Okay, now we are going to go for the covariance of x. We know that the covariance is nothing but expectation of x minus expectation of x into y minus expectation of y. You just go through your previous note, you can found already we have been discussed, okay. You can check your note, okay. Here covariance of xy, whatever we have discussed in our class, expectation of x minus mu1 into y minus mu2. Here mu1 mu2 is nothing but expectation of x, expectation of y, okay. Same thing, it has been written, you can see expectation of expectation of x minus expectation of x minus expectation of x. Here instead of expectation of x, written as mu1, okay. So covariance of xy can be written as expectation of x minus expectation of x into y minus expectation of y will be equal to expectation of, here you can see we found x minus expectation of x is nothing but this one, y minus expectation of y is nothing but this one. So you just substitute this value equal to this one over here. So here x minus expectation of x is there, so the value will be nothing but this one, you just substitute over here, and y minus expectation of y value, this one, you just substitute over here, right? Now we found here h and k both are constant, and we know that if constant, so there is no effect on these constants if we are going to operate expectation. So these constants will be come out, so it will be hk expectation of u minus expectation of u into v minus expectation of v. So here hk, and this will be nothing but, see, for xy, for xy random variable, the covariance is nothing but this one. If we are going to consider uv is the random variable, obviously covariance of uv will be this one. So this one, expectation of u minus expectation of u into v minus expectation of v is nothing but covariance of uv, right? You can write, this is your equation number 1. See, as I am discussing directly from the book, you can see it is written the equation number of 10.4, because this chapter is, for this book is 10, so only for the 10.4. But I suggest that in your note you have to write down equation number 1. And I suggest after watching the video, whenever you are writing the note, clearly, perfectly you have to write down the note. Pause the video and write down. Now we are going to go for the variance of x. We know that variance is nothing but sigma x square. For a random variable x, the variance will be sigma x square. Will be how much? Expectation of x minus expectation of x whole square. Already we have been discussed. You can check your note that variance of x is nothing but expectation of x minus, this is x bar is nothing but your expectation of x, right? Whole square. Okay, same thing it has been written. The variance of x, that means sigma x square, sigma x square will be expectation of x minus expectation of x whole square. So here x minus expectation of x is nothing but, in the form of u, it is h into u minus expectation of u. So I am going to substitute this one here only, okay? And we are going to take whole square. Whole square means h is constant, so h square taken outside, and we got u minus expectation of u whole square, right? So h square again constant, so expectation of constant not to be affect anything, it will come out. We found h square, and in the bracket we can found, by taking h square outside, what we are going to found. Here you can see that, you just consider this one. Here we are going to found, if I am going to take h square outside, we found expectation of this one, u minus expectation of u, capital U, okay, u whole square, okay. And we know that sigma x square is nothing but expectation of x minus expectation of x whole square. This is nothing but is your variance of x, okay, no problem. Here you can put square, no problem. So this is nothing but variance of x. Similarly, instead of x, if we are going to write u, then what is this? This is nothing but variance of u, sigma u square, right? So here we can write h square into sigma u square, okay. So sigma x will be equal to root over of this one, it will be h into sigma u, because see, whenever we are going to take root over, the h value can be plus minus, but as we defined initially that h has to be positive, so we are going to consider only positive value of h into sigma u. This is nothing but your so-called standard deviation. Similarly, sigma y square, that means variance of y, we can found k square sigma v square, and sigma y will be k into v, where k is greater than 0. Now you just consider this one, sigma x is your equation number 2 and sigma y is your equation number 3, right? Now we are going to consider the correlation coefficient of xy. You just write here, do not write these things, you just write that. Now consider, now consider rxy. Now consider rxy. Rxy will be how much? You just write. Don't write this one, okay? Don't write this one. You just write now consider rxy. That means your correlation coefficient of xy will be equal to how much? Covariance of x y divided by standard deviation of x, standard deviation of y. Okay, and this will be, suppose, your equation number 4. Now then you have to write, now substitute the values from 1, 2 and 3 in equation number 4. We found that rxy equal to this by this. You got my point? See, again I am going to tell to you. You do not write this one. You have to write now consider rxy. That implies rxy equal to this much, and you put this much as a equation number 4. Okay, then you have to write, now put the values from equation number 1, 2, 3 in equation number 4. We got, then you have to write, we got that, what we got? rxy equal to, instead of covariance of x, we have to write down here from equation number 1 what we found, hk into covariance of uv. So we have to write hk covariance of uv divided by standard deviation of x. That means sigma x is nothing but is your h sigma, right? Is your h sigma. So h sigma u into sigma y is nothing but k sigma v, right? So it can be written as hk by, these are the constant also, hk into covariance of uv by sigma u into sigma v, right? So hk got cancelled. So that implies what we found? We found rxy is equal to ruv. Hence it is proved. Okay. So as I told, in that way you have to maintain your note. Okay. So here we have to stop our discussion. You watch this video carefully and write down the note. You have to write down the note. Here we explain the limits of correlation coefficient and this theorem. Carefully watch the video, pause the video and write down the note. And in our next class we are going to go for another theorem, or you can say corollary. This one also, this theorem corollary also important for your exam point of view and to solve the different type of numericals. Okay, so thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you.